Welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Aquarius, March 2020, career and finance. I'll get right to it. Just a quick indicator of how the spread is laid out. These are my main cards. Everything that's below that are just clarifiers, just so I can flesh out a little more detail from the reading. So the first card here is the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups speaks to me, it's a couple of things. It's either that you're feeling a lot of anxiety or you have a lot of choices. Could be both, and it certainly does indicate there's some kind of confusion starting out here. So you do have some sense of, being disorganized, maybe feeling a little bit too busy, or you're having some commitment issues. It could be that you're trying to complete things, don't have enough time to do it. You're just feeling a little bit scattered is what I feel there. There's some kind of confusion regardless. So again, you still have dreams and ambitions going on here. It's just that you're lacking some kind of understanding to be able to go forward. So a lot of confusion, like I said, feeling scattered, disorganized, difficulty moving ahead because of not being able to either complete some tasks to go forward or something along that line. So clarified by the death card. Death card speaks to something pleasantly ending. So I get the feeling that, maybe something you were feeling anxiety about has come to an end now. Because it's also indicating that you have lots of opportunities ahead. So, you might still have anxiety with that card, but again, the death card clarifies it's showing you that you do have some possibilities to choose from, and there's not really any problem there. It's a positive ending and beginning. And of course, with the Fool card, that's also indicating that positive beginning as well as an optimism that goes with that card. The next card following that is, the Page of Cups and the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands. So this speaks to me that there is some kind of youthful energy around you. It's either yourself or someone around you, or there's actual children around you. So it could be a child or two children, but something is influencing the reading in terms of children. Two pages, is an indication of young people around you, and or certainly people that are less experienced than you. So and I mean, because they're close together as well, and one is clarifying the other, they could be mentors to you as well. So something that you might be starting out that you're mentoring under. But there's a lot of different energies that go with the pages, because pages are indicators of messages coming through. So, I mean, if it is energy of a person or people, young children or yourself, could be just, again, youthful energy. The Page of Cups, for example, even though it's a clarifier for the Page of Wands, the Page of Cups really speaks to, somebody who's artistic and feeling, has a psychic nature about them, very emotional and, dreamer, that kind of thing. But coupled with the Page of Wands, what it really is kind of moving to me toward is that childlike quality. That there's some kind of new level of happiness beginning here, and it might even be something that's just out of the blue, and that's what the message is here, something that's just coming through a little unexpected. So, it is a romantic, artistic combination. It's somebody who's, young, childlike, qualities about them. But of course, with the Page of Cups, your intuition is at its highest with that. And again, it's a clarifier for Wands, Wands being creativity, ambition, motivation, that kind of thing. And pages are messages. This can actually be a very shy person, somebody who's a little more introverted, not often seen for situations. But when it's coupled with the Page of Wands, Wands are usually a little more aggressive energy. So to me, it feels that, you are being optimistic, you're moving ahead. There's some kind of aggressive beginning that was a little bit unexpected because of the, this childlike quality here of something coming in out of the blue. But either way, it's a new level of happiness, you trusting your intuition. It's about the universe synchronizing something to make that happen for you. And it does speak to finances improving with that, with both of those cards. Followed by the Devil card, it gives me, some sense of overindulging maybe on that head in the clouds kind of feeling, that dreamer mentality. So maybe whatever it is that you were kind of indulging in, that youthful quality was maybe a little bit too far to the extreme, because as I say, devil energy usually represents things of excess. So I mean, it could be addictions, it could be, excessive drinking, a lot of negative thoughts, anything along that line. But again, because it's energy that's childlike qualities, I feel that it has more to do with an overindulgence in being in that dreamlike state and not being able to, clearly see something. So maybe too many illusions going on there. But again, it's clarified by the Two of Cups. And so the Two of Cups and, of course, the eights. Eights are always about, overcoming obstacles, but it does indicate some kind of restriction, self-imposed, or feeling that something is cut short, but it's limiting you in some way, things along that line. So, but again, with the Two of Cups and a clarifier for the devil, it does also speak to jealousy and obsessiveness. Things along that line that could be involved with a childlike quality. And again, if it's not children, I mean, it could be childlike behavior, that kind of thing. So, I mean, it does seem like there's something going on there in that beginning month of March that speaks to, immature behavior anyway, that's somehow restricting you. And again, this is also something of a youthful type, charismatic, in love with love kind of energy as well. It could speak to a person, the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is usually somebody who's coming through to save the day. They are very enthusiastic. They don't necessarily like to arrive, but they definitely are somebody who loves the process of getting towards something. If it's speaking to a person, this could be you or somebody around you. And again, a lot of energy about youthful overindulgence, a little immature, that kind of thing. So in this area, so I mean, it could even be, one person or two, but either way, it is speaking to, somebody who's a little bit unreliable, that kind of thing. Could be a little bit vain, insensitive, and so on. But as far as money goes, I mean, it does speak to, things moving ahead with kind of an adventurous quality. So there is some kind of change that is combined with that adventurous, enthusiastic spirit of things. So it's a carefree, kind of playful energy. So it's about building something here. And again, I mean, it just speaks to adventure, action, that kind of thing. But again, following that, you also have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is actually a clarifier card, and I mean, it does speak to change as well. So the Ace of Cups is really about a universal blessing coming through. And Knights are about messages and news. So the Ace of Cups speaks to feelings, being intensified, deeper connection, something being expressed, new job, new opportunity, new project, new awareness. Things moving in a positive direction, new, like I said, new job, something new, period, that is manifesting there, and that's coming in with this energy of the Knight of Wands, because Knight of Wands are also very ambitious with the wands. So it might be something here that you are manifesting with the Magician, because the Magician energy is having all of the competency to make something happen, and it does speak to it actually arriving, because you are able to make it happen, but there is some kind of period of reflection going on there. But again, with the Magician, I mean, it is a card of being in your power. So, it does speak to being focused on that goal, making something happen. It's about realizing your potential, that kind of thing. So, with the Hanged Man, though, the Hanged Man, again, is a stepping back, changing your perspective to be able to go ahead. So maybe enable for you to have manifested that and utilizing your talents, which is really what the Magicianist speaks to. It's that ability to create your own destiny. But the Hanged Man really speaks to having to change your perspective to be able to make that happen. So you had to step back somewhere along the line, or will be here coming up in March in that beginning week. You will be stepping back, and you will be, kind of looking at things from a different perspective. In terms of work, it does indicate that there is success for sure, and it's positive, and it's just about you taking small baby steps, incremental, to move forward, not to rush, just keep being meticulous and patient in that journey. I do see something here with the Hierophant that relates to conservative, a conservative kind of nature. So, I mean, it's either a person, or it could speak to an institution of some sort that's coming through. So maybe you're working for a corporation in some respect. Don't know if it's self-employed or if you're working under some kind of a company where there is a lot of levels to management. But that Hierophant card does speak to, conservative type uh, responsibilities anyway. So, I mean, it's something along the line of, you not being super creative necessarily in that position. It is something that you're having to conform to. Again, it could be an energy around you that's coming through to direct you, because Hierophant it can also indicate divine inspiration. So you might be getting just guidance from the universe with that as well. But I mean, it's a teacher of wisdom. It is, like I said, traditional rules, something along that line anyway. But it can also speak to just having the discipline to get towards your goal, which is the Nine of Pentacles, and that's what it's clarified by. And the Knight of Pentacles is, of course, independence. It's about reaching that level of, self-reliance and being able to, move forward. Definitely great card for money. It's about accomplishment, self-reliance. You've got self-discipline there as well. It's emphasized that there's self-discipline here. So I think that that's really more along the lines of what's happening here, is that there is some kind of self-discipline. There is heightened awareness, with the Nine of Pentacles. It's definitely recognition for your efforts, and job promotion. You do have a lot of, the main cards anyway are for sure, like the major arcana are these ones here, and there are several of them. So there's enough of significance that it'll make some change there for you in March. It'll be noteworthy. But moving down here, even though you are focused on the goal, you are using self-discipline, you are able to change your perspective and utilize your skills and all of that. And there is that jealousy, youthful energy going on up here, being a little bit too much in your head, with the dreams and some anxiety. But having a lot of choices and options and optimistic viewpoint here. But again, when we get down to the latter part of March, the fours are still about seeking balance, twos and fours, anything along that line. But the Four of Cups, and again, cups speak to emotions. So, the Four of Cups is really just about you feeling, like you haven't quite, you've got some self-doubt going on here. So you might be feeling a little introspective, a little defensive, something along that line. You're still considering choices. You might be feeling a little bit stubborn, not sure about, whether you want the job or something along that line. And for sure you're defensive here with the Nine of Wands. But nines are still, really positive cards. Like nines represent, self-confidence and a level of completeness and using wisdom and good judgment. So, with the Nine of Wands, it's still about action, energy. You're ready, you're prepared for action if you have to take it. But the Nine of Wands really speaks to you just being prepared to act, feeling a little bit vulnerable, not quite secure in what's happening with something in the beginning part of March here, because you're also being a little, not only defensive, but you're having to take some kind of a battle stance. So you are prepared to act here, but you also have the Seven of Wands, which speaks to, even though you're being resourceful with the Nine of Wands, you do still have some sense of feeling like you need to stand your ground. You're being a little bit defiant here. So you do have deeper fears and doubts again throughout that whole latter part of March for career and finance. But with the Six of Swords, sixes are about, getting past the hurdles, and so are eights here as well. So you've got Six of Swords, meaning that whatever it is that you're, encountering here with this lack of self-confidence, you are getting past it. So the Six of Swords speaks to, moving ahead to better frame of mind. The Eight of Wands is fast communication. It's quick messages coming through. It is also speaking to spiritual, divine guidance as well. So you are getting, a lot of divine guidance coming through on several cards here. So again, being guided even with the Temperance card, that's all you starting to listen to your inner voice. So as much as there's the quick communication and swift action coming through, or basically a message, not necessarily full action, but more of a message that's coming through, quick message. This is speaking to a slower energy. That is the Knight of Pentacles. So it's a quick message that's coming through, that money is on the way, but it is going to slowly be making its way to you. So again, you have following that the patience card, and for sure patience is all about waiting. So it's still a positive card, and it's definitely moving in the direction of money, manifesting there, but it is about self-control, it's about compromising, it's, a card of harmony and understanding and that intuitiveness and healing, if that were, other cards supporting it, but I don't really see that so much about healing, but again, it's synchronizing. The universe is synchronizing things to make this little miracle happen for you that's related to money, because you also have the clarifier of the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is definitely, it's a career path that you're on there. So the Page of Pentacles, again, is a messenger coming through, and it does speak to money that is, realistic and practical, and it's about, it can also speak to new courses of study and that kind of thing, but again, I just feel like it's more of a window of opportunity, something opening up for you. But it's all good with money and the ability to manifest that money, and things are being lined up for you. It's just slow to get to you, so it may not show up in the month of March, but it is definitely on the way. It's just toward the end of March that you're going to start seeing some of that action start to take place. So anyway, just a quick read. Hope that gave you some insight, and we will speak to you in April.